Welcome back, all. Young Toronto artist Jonathan Ball describes himself as a neo-futuristic abstract expressionist.
Yes.
Yeah. And as far as we know, he's the only painter who falls into that category.
But it's an awesome category, and Jonathan's art is truly awesome. And however you categorize his stuff, there's no question he's got a wild sci-fi-ish imagination. I visited Johnathan and had him show me around his latest exhibition at Toronto's Liss Gallery. You're going to love this stuff. Johnathan, your work is so awesome to look at, especially as a genre fan. I could feel some influences in there. What's the overarching theme for the pieces that we have here in the gallery now?
What I tell people, it's cowboys, chicks, and skulls. That's what the show is more or less about, and that's sort of what's up on the walls today. Yeah, but definitely heavy cowboys, lots of girls, and a few skulls.
Well, is there a genre, a sci-fi influence to your work?
I'm such a huge sci-fi fan. I grew up on, TNG, Star Trek: Next Generation, huge. And it's funny because a lot of these works, I actually had Star Trek: Next Generation in the background while I was painting.
That's not Jean-Luc Picard's skull, is it?
No, definitely not. I don't base my works on anything other than just sort of what's going on upstairs. I feel like the artist should be a filter. Because I love science fiction so much, I just try to take as much of it in as I can. Yeah. And then whatever comes through me onto the canvas is what it is. The world is both terrifying and beautiful.
Right.
And I think art should be a reflection of that.
For some insight into how Johnathan achieves that balance between the beautiful and the terrifying, we looked at a couple of pieces in particular.
This was one of the first pieces that I started. And I've been working on it on and off for about a year, and it's based on a film still from Once Upon a Time in the West. Okay. He's actually the hero, but I kind of made him a little bit darker to confuse, just to make it more of an interesting piece. And what brought it together, the reason it's in the show is really just because of the sky and the way the background turned out. This is from a 1960s Life magazine, and there's a bunch of ads from the Life magazine that just sort of caught my eye. Yeah. The Dodge Royal, I think it is in there. This article about, I think that one's about Russia actually, and it just sort of adds intrigue to the piece.
So the flyer for your show here at the Liss Gallery, Analouge, contains this young lady, and here she is. First off, is she a young lady?
Yeah, she's pretty young. I think she's looking good. I think it's summed up everything that's happening in the show the best.
Right.
The piece is titled Fleeting Moments of Fragmented Memories. The thing that really brought the whole piece together for me was this white line. I know this white line here was done all in one motion. That's when I think you say to yourself, okay, you have to stop. Because I think as an artist, like, it's easy to go, but it's really, really hard to stop.
Right.
And then you have to just say, okay, like this piece is done, because otherwise you're going to kill it.
Once Johnathan does decide a painting is done, what sort of emotions does he hope to provoke in the viewer?
I think if you look at a piece of work and it's confusing, it's good.
Right.
And then you go from there. You either love it or you're not sure about it. But if it confuses you, if you look at something and you don't know whether you like it or whether you hate it or whether it's disgusting or whether it's beautiful, I think that's what good art should do. If you're not talking about it, it's not important.
Right. So you can check out Jonathan's work at jonathanball.com. Young, still in his 20s, Canadian artist, painter, photographer. Really, really an interesting, cool new voice out of Canada. Definitely check out his work. I think you especially would like it because...
I do like it.
Yeah, and a lot of it is drawn, obviously, as he said, for this show, from the world of cowboys and
know? And that's what I really appreciated. So many artists, you ask them, like, what is the inspiration for your work, or what is it about? And they give you these esoteric, high-concept...
that we can't understand.
Exploring the tangent between the waking state and the dream state. And you're like, what exactly
They're
do you
smarter
mean?
than
He's
us.
just like, cowboys, skulls, and girls. Bam, that's what it is.
I think it's great, but
I
also,
appreciate that.
It's great. And even though he draws a lot from Westerns and films, there's also like a bit of almost a cyborg element to some of his work. I really think you would dig it. It's cool. And I love that he, he's a Star Trek fan when he abbreviates Next Generation as TNG.
Yes, he knows his stuff.
He's one of us.
And I did a quick Google search for his name, and there's actually another artist out there by the name of Jonathan Ball. Does very different stuff.
Landscapes?
No, it's kind of like almost J-pop anime type sort of stuff.
Oh, different.
But it's also, I like it. So there's two great artists out there named Jonathan Ball.
Cool. Check out this guy, though.
Yes.
Other Jonathan Ball, whatever.
That's all the time we got for you today, but tomorrow I'll be making my predictions as to who will win big at this year's Canadian Video Game Awards.
I'll be making my predictions too, but you probably want to go
Trust
with
mine.
You probably go with AJ. I'm going to nominate Zaxxon and Frogger. Plus, I'll be bringing you the highs and lows of the American vampire superhero action films Blade and Blade 2. This is just in time for their big premiere on Space this Saturday.
And no Blade Trinity, so fewer lows.
So there's no downside.
And we'll be visiting Go Lounge, a place that celebrates board games and shows us that analog games are making a comeback in this digital world of ours.
I love it.
Quick board game plug, Epic Spell Wars. It's awesome. Until then, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you in the future.
And Settlers of Catan. So there is Danielle McJimsey, our good friend from eTalk, who's fantastic, by the way. And she is with a gentleman.
We don't know who that is.
Appears they have the Stanley Cup there.
Yes,
Look at that.
Stanley Cup.
Stanley Cup. Look at that. What do you think they're talking about?
I don't know.
Why he's wearing gloves?
I think
The
he won
Stanley Cup. The
for-
Stanley Cup is a football trophy.
Yeah, right. At the end of the CFL.
At the end of the World Series in football, you get the Stanley Cup.
Right.
We know these things.